know how he said that everything that Chris Lopez had been saying about Kail is true? Well, Chris Lopez entered the chat, and I want to read to you guys what he had to say on his Instagram story. By the way, thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, India. So nice to see y'all here on my TikTok as well. How exciting. Okay, so let me zoom in on this because the way my eyes are set up. Chris posted, and I quote, "Just because it's been validated, what I've been saying doesn't change what I've been living." Yeah, it's cool that people are now seeing the truth, that others are speaking up, that things are finally being said out loud. But let's be real. That validation doesn't undo anything. It doesn't erase the pain. It doesn't stop the damage. It doesn't fix the nights I lost sleep. It doesn't fix what me and my kids have to deal with. The stuff people don't see, the stress, the emotional toll, the moments that no camera or post ever catches. We're still going through it. I'm still dealing with the same system that ignored all this when it mattered. And even with proof, even with the truth out in the open, there's a real chance the court still won't see it for what it is, because when you're a father fighting for your kids, the truth doesn't always get a fair hearing. So no, validation isn't justice. It's not healing. It's just confirmation of what I already knew. I've been standing on truth. Listen, Chris, why do you have 2 kids with this woman? That's what I do not understand. You and this woman were never even in a relationship for you to have not 1, but 2 children with her. You know, I get that you're frustrated. I get that you've been going through a lot with her. But, you know, sometimes we have to ask ourselves, why the hell were we making certain decisions in the first place? You did not even have this chick as your girlfriend. You were playing this chick for several years, yet you have 2 children with her. You dealt with her the first time. You saw her trash you on television after the first child and everything, and, you know, try to smear your name and everything. And you decided to spin the block and pop out another one with her. What about that? What about that? You know, listen, one thing I learned from talking about celebrities, especially reality stars on Teen Mom Next Chapter, is some people have such poor coochie management and some men have such poor peen management. Guys, do better. Make better decisions. Do not let just anybody be tied to you for life. Really think long and hard about it. Is the pun intended or not? What do you guys think? East also says, baby girl is looking for love in all the wrong places. Exactly. Looking for love, finding nothing but babies and STDs. Let's do better, Kail. You're in your 30s at this point. Like, you've been in therapy for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. When are we going to start to see the results of this? What, you know, or maybe you might need to change your therapist, because this is very unhealthy behavior. And anybody who is telling you that you are going in the right direction, or that you are making the right choices, or that you are a healthy person is lying to you. Now let's get into her side piece. Who is this man? And guys, listen, again, I do not believe that she only started seeing this man in August. I truly believe that she started not in August, in April. I truly believe that she's been seeing this man since at least, you know, maybe even January, February, before she and Elijah broke up, in my opinion. Shout out to you, England, Green Banana, and thank you, Average Canadian Mom. Thank you. May says it's the same therapist as Amber, clearly, right? And even Amber's mom, when she went, so Amber, Kung Fu Port with you guys. So when Kung Fu's mom went with her to the therapist, mind you, it's a child therapist, child psychiatrist that Kung Fu sees. She's like, so when are we going to see the results? She's been seeing you for so long. She's still a damn mess. When do we see the results? That, you know, unfortunately, Kail doesn't have a family member who's going to be, you know, holding her accountable that way. And she doesn't have friends who are going to hold her accountable that way, because they're all on her payroll. But it's sad. That is a serious question that she and somebody who loves and cares for her needs to ask. Shayna says, one thing for sure, 2's for certain. Grace will be on the celebrities next, and I love it. Give me one quick second, you guys. I will be right back.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Felo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Rutha. Rutha is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinical.
So here's the thing. We have to get into who exactly this person is, right? So shout out to the experts, and I mean expert sleuthsters who were able to track down this information. Give me 1 second. So there's actually this TikTok account that managed to pull up all of the comments that Kail had been leaving on his videos. So let's go ahead and take a look right now. So I'm just going to bring it up and tell me if it's big enough for you to be able to read or not. So let me just make sure that I'm zooming it in properly. Is this big enough? And then I'm going to go ahead and play it. Okay, so this is, what does Kail say? One with nature.
What's this?
Other video. You've got Kail.
Oh shit, this is fucking cool.
And sound. Next video, Kail. I didn't see her comment there, but hang on. You didn't leave one on here either. So as far as we're aware, when it comes to this person, this is somebody, and by the way, shout out to the TikTok account, DesiDes63 for being able to pull all of those up. So for the people on TikTok who do not have visibility into this, Kail has been commenting on her new boyfriend's TikTok videos, like a lot of just, comments supporting him and his love of fishing. So it's been confirmed. And these comments go as far back as April. So to me, they had to have been together. That's the earliest, like where she feels comfortable mentioning or like commenting. But I think that like the relationship started a little bit sooner to lead to that level of comfort between the two of them. So this is his actual TikTok account. Let me go ahead and pull that up. So all he does is post fishing content. He truly loves to fish. His name on TikTok is The Flyest Fisherman. And his bio is more fishing, less bitching. And so as you guys saw earlier, Kail was leaving comments on all of his videos, right? Yet now that the cat's out of the bag, he has since shut down his comments. Womp, womp, womp. So that is partly, I imagine, to hide Kail's comments and also to discourage people from being able to leave comments speculating or asking questions about the nature of their relationships. Listen, why don't I go ahead and follow him on my regular account and on my burner account before that thing goes private, because y'all know that is the next step. By the way, Flavia says he ain't taking care of no 7 kids like Elijah. Listen, that's the thing, like I get it that these guys, like they want money, they want clout, they want something. But if it's attached to 7 kids, oh my God, listen, for me, even if it's attached to 1 kid, that's too much for me. I can't do it. I'm not built for, for stepmom life or whatever. But 7, it just, you could even have 10 million in the bank, 20 million in the bank. 7 kids and I have to live with them. And they're not mine. I'm sorry, but I couldn't do it. I could not. I don't know. There's got to be something. There's got to be something that this man wants in exchange for his presence in her life. Like there's something going on here, and I do not trust him. Listen, at best he's a gold digger. At best he's a clout chaser. At worst, he could be a Chester he could be a violent person. He could be a thief. We don't know, right? It's just I do not see a normal, well-adjusted, well-balanced person with everything going for them in life deciding to get into the situation, especially this quickly, right? I think even if neither of you have kids, still jumping in and moving with somebody within 2 months is indicative of a lack of impulse control or potential love bombing, and then the mask comes off once you got the key and you're living with the person or something. Like there's just nothing here that I think is going to lead to anything good. Deborah says, I can never support Javi because he had no problem doing this stuff to Joe. So remember when Javi first got with Kail, he was working hard to cut Joe out of that picture. It's so crazy how quickly karma comes. Right. And don't forget, Chris was the side piece when she was married to Javi. Now he's crying too. So come on. Listen, life comes at you fast. Bree says, I want to know what Joe and V are thinking. Me too. Listen, like somebody else said earlier, I hope they are having a fantastic day. I would be popping out some champagne, good, cold, crisp champagne, enjoying it in the sun with like a nice dinner, just thanking my lucky stars that I no longer have to deal with that woman. Christiane says, apparently someone reached out to Teen Mom Chatter and gave her some tea on Kale's new man. Come through, Teen Mom. Listen, y'all have to follow Teen Mom Chatter if you aren't already following her. She is truly on it. Like, there's so many other stories that I need to cover as well. But listen, we only have like about an hour-ish for the morning report. But, I will be back with some more stories. So, for example, and this is on her page. You guys can go ahead and check it out in the meantime. But Caitlin Lowry's brother and her mother are speaking out about Caitlin and Tyler getting in contact with these minors, thinking that they are Carly, like they've spoken out about that. So she's got the scoop on that. Definitely make sure to go ahead and check her out for that, and a bunch of other stories as well. I think I did tell you that Nanny Natalie stepped into the chat, right? But I didn't get to show you guys the post. So let me go ahead and show you guys the post. Okay. Once again, this is on Teen Mom Chatter. By the way, you guys, if you're enjoying today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. So this is Nanny Natalie. She posted a meme. Let me move my phone for my TikTok friends. I'm coming for you, TikTok. I'm coming for you. So basically it's Albert Einstein laughing. And the post says, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it, Newton? How do I move my camera? Oh, I don't think I can. And so basically she's laughing at the situation. This is a bit of an I told you so sort of a situation, because she said, listen, that girl is not what she appears. She wants you to think that she's one way, but in reality, it is completely different. And listen, Nanny Natalie, as the kind of primary parent for these kids, she knows, y'all. She truly, truly knows. God, is there anything I'm missing on this story? Goth Beauty says it's a red flag if a man wants to move in with a woman with 7 kids and 4 different baby daddies. Agree. Green Banana says, why cheat on Elijah? She shoots herself in the foot all the time because now she's had all the twins. She's ended up a single mother of 7. Why would anybody want this life? Why not treat your man right? Is this like a self-sabotage sort of a thing? Like, because there are people who have this kind of like self-sabotage kind of a disorder or whatever. Like, do you think that's it? Araceli says, it seems like Kail gets that body done and all of a sudden she needs a new man. Maybe that's it. Listen, that's how she got with Chris. Got that BBL the first time, then she went with Chris. Now she gets another round of lipo. We've got this new guy. What's that Nicki Minaj song? Ain't no miles on this here new body. You ain't F Nicki, you F the old body. That's maybe the vibe that she's on, you guys. I do not know. Kind of Savvy says Kail is a danger to her kids. So careless. And you know what? I sadly agree. This is not normal behavior. This is not protecting your children. Moving a bunch of random men. So yes, by the way, I want to answer some TikTok questions. Callie says, didn't he supposedly cheat on her? Yes, he did. But she had a man in the cut this entire time. The Elijah stuff went down around the same time as we're now finding out from her old comments that she already had this relationship with this other person that she's flirting with in his TikTok comments since way back when, back in like March, April as well. So I think it was Jaleesa who was saying this on YouTube. Jaleesa was saying that maybe Elijah's cheating was kind of like a get you back kind of cheating sort of a situation, right? And I agree with you as well, Kashi. And Live to Color says Kail is like high maintenance. Monica says she blocked me. Can you tell her to unblock me? Kail, if you're listening, unblock Monica, please. Oh my God, you guys, this has been absolutely unreal. Again, this is the first time ever in the history of the Grace Report, and we've been doing the Grace Report, not the Grace Report, the Morning Report, which is a show that we've done 5 times a week since January. This is the first time ever that we had a story that was so big it had to take over the entire hour. And look at the turnout, look at the viewership. I think this is our highest viewed episode of the Morning Report. So I think it was a pretty good call overall. I'm happy that we didn't have to kind of, cut this story short to get to other things that you guys do not care as much about. Like, this is a really, really big story. You guys seem incredibly engaged with it. So I'm happy that we were able to, to give it the full amount of time that it deserves. Just as if I dated someone and they had 7 kids and wanted me to move in after 2 months, I run screaming in the opposite direction. Thank you. And you know what, Jess, you're right. He's not just a red flag for being okay with that and wanting to. She is a red flag for, as a mother, wanting to have a random man move in with her and her children within 2 months as well. They're both red flags everywhere. Anyway, y'all, listen. I have to go to the phone store. And yeah, because my phone, the Bluetooth does not connect. The phone store closes in about an hour and a half, and the Bluetooth is just not working. And I really want to make sure that it works before I go off on my trip. So if you enjoyed today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube or TikTok knows that you enjoy my content. And do not forget that we go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, meaning that I'll be right here back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in, and I'll catch you again later. Bye, guys. Enjoy the rest of